Did you know that nearly 46% of all emails sent worldwide are identified as spam? And here's the kicker. About 21% of legitimate marketing emails from real businesses end up in a spam folder by mistake. If you're sending email campaigns and wondering why your open rates are terrible or why people aren't seeing your emails, chances are you're being filtered as spam. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how spam filters work, what triggers them, and most importantly, how to make sure your emails land in the inbox, not in a spam folder. Let's dive in. If you want to have this checklist with all the things that I will mention in this video, then click the first link in the description and download this checklist for free. And if you don't know me, my name is Idris Fayyad. I'm the founder and CEO of Retention Only. I built a boutique retention marketing agency, helping D2C brands in German and English-speaking markets. And here are some of the deliverability score screenshots from our clients. You can see 86, 81, 80, and now let's go into the actual video. Let's start with the basics. What are spam filters and why do they even exist? Think of spam filters as digital gatekeepers. Every single day, email providers like Gmail, Yahoo, and Outlook are processing billions of emails. Gmail alone blocks over 15 billion unwanted messages daily. Unwanted only. Now, imagine what will happen to your inbox without filters. Your inbox would be absolute chaos, filled with scams, phishing attempts, and unwanted promotions. Here's how these spam filters work. When an email arrives, it doesn't just magically appear in your inbox. First, it goes through a security checkpoint where spam filters analyze it in milliseconds. They check multiple things: who sent it, what does it say, how is it formatted, how have other people reacted to it, and is the sender authenticated. Based on this analysis, the filter assigns the email a spam score. If that score crosses a certain threshold, boom, spam folder. And only the emails that look completely legitimate make it to your main inbox. Now here's what makes this challenging for email marketers. Each email provider has different algorithms. So what gets through on Gmail might get blocked on Yahoo. And this is why understanding how these filters work is absolutely critical for anyone doing email marketing. The four main factors spam filters analyze are email content, sender reputation, email authentication, and user engagement. And spam filters evaluate your emails based on these four major categories. Now we will go into each of these categories more deeply so you understand what you need to do in order to avoid landing in the spam folder. Factor number one, email content that triggers filters. This is what most people think of first. Spam filters scan your subject lines and email body copy for red flags. Some of the classic triggers that scammers are using are all caps text, multiple exclamation points, dollar signs, and phrases like free money or act now. Don't do any of these because it will trigger the spam filter and your emails will land in the spam folder. But it goes beyond just spam words. They are also checking your image to text ratio. Emails that are just one giant image with little to no text, red flags. Sometimes spammers hide text and images to avoid detection, and you want at least a few hundred characters of actual words or texts in your emails. And then another thing that spam filters and these bots are looking for are messy HTML code. Sometimes when you copy content from Microsoft Word or use poorly coded templates, you get extra hidden tags and messy formatting. And spam filters see this as suspicious. And then another thing that is really important and that most businesses are overlooking is every legitimate business email should have a physical address and an unsubscribe link in the footer. If you miss these, that's a spam signal. And if you do some of these seed list tests, you will see that when this address is missing or the unsubscribe link, it will show you this is the reason and this is why you're landing in spam. So that's really, really important. And now also, since 2024, Gmail's, for example, using Red Vec, which is a AI bot that is scanning all of the email copies, and they're even detecting words like this one here, free, winner, or Viagra, and it just helps Gmail to be even better in catching spam emails, and it has improved their filtering system a lot. And now what I can just tell you is don't use any of these triggers here. Make sure that you have at least, I would say, 200 to 300 characters of actual text in every email, and try to use as few links as possible as you can in your emails, just to make sure that you're not landing in spam and you're not triggering a spam filter. Factor number 2, your sender reputation matters. Your sender reputation is like a credit score with email providers. It's built over time and based on how people react to your emails. Both your sending domain and your IP address have reputations, and this is why it's very important how you treat both of them. And here's what damages your reputation. High bounce rates, so sending to invalid or old email addresses, damages reputation, so you should keep your bounce rate below 1%. What you can do in Klaviyo is to exclude people that have bounced at least 3 times in the last 180 days from your email campaigns and your email flows. This will help you improve your email deliverability. Then spam complaints, when people mark your email as spam, it destroys your reputation. So you should try to keep it under 0.1%. Low engagement. If people consistently delete emails without reading or never open them, providers notice. So you should always create engaged segments in Klaviyo to ensure that you have at least a 35 or 40% open rate and people are actually opening your emails and clicking them. Because if you go below that threshold of 35-40%, and especially on Klaviyo and other email inbox or email marketing tools, you have shared IPs, and if based on your performance, you will land in a shared IP of people with similar user engagement. And if your user engagement is 35 to 40% open rate, then you will land in the best shared IP with other people that have these kind of user engagement metrics. And so you want to ensure that you have an open rate of 35 to 40% to be in this pool with these other people. Because if you have an open rate of 10 or 20%, you will land in this shared IP with people that have bad user engagement, and you don't want to do that because you'll be more likely, or your emails will be more likely to land in a spam folder. And now low engagement is also damaging your sender reputation. And then the last point is a high unsubscribe rate is also causing you to have a lower email deliverability. You try to keep it as low as 0.3%. In some cases, it's very hard, but if you have the right settings in your flows and in your email campaigns and you're excluding the right people, you should be good. Because I mean, you should exclude people that have just recently purchased. You should exclude people that have received too many emails. Sometimes you should activate smart sending to just ensure that someone that just received an email in the last 16 hours will not receive an additional email from you. These are some of the tricks that we are using for our clients. And if you are on a shared IP, which is totally common, your reputation is tied to others. So if you have one bad actor on your shared IP, it can hurt your email deliverability, although you have not done anything wrong. This is why big brands like AG1 moved to a dedicated IP where they're the only sender sending from a specific infrastructure. So their email deliverability cannot be affected by other people that are sending from the same IP. And these are all the things that you need to keep in mind in order to improve your email deliverability. And so the best practice is to just move to a dedicated IP. Here's a link that you can click on, and it will explain how you can set up a dedicated IP for your own brand. Factor number 3, email authentication protocols. This is technical, but super important. Email authentication is how you prove to email providers that you are who you claim to be. The main protocols are SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. And SPF is pretty much a DNS record that lists which servers are allowed to send you emails for your domain. So in most cases, it will be Klaviyo. DKIM adds a digital signature to your emails that proves they haven't been tampered with. And DMARC is something that ties SPF and DKIM together and tells receiving servers what to do if authentication fails. And if your email failed these authentication checks, many servers will reject them outright or automatically flag them as spam. And in fact, as of February 2024, Gmail and Yahoo require all bulk senders, so anyone who's sending more than 5,000 emails a day, to have proper authentication set up. Without it, your emails go straight to spam by default. But the good news are most email marketing platforms like Klaviyo and MailChimp make this easy to set up. You just need to add some DNS records and use a branded sending domain instead of a generic one. What I've also provided you here with is an SPF check and a DMARC check. So you can just click the links here and you'll be directed here. You can just type in your domain. I've done it for AG1, drinkag1.com, and you can see they have the SPF record. Everything is green. And here also you can see the DMARC record is also there. Now, what you can also do is you can check it yourself. You can just open an email. Let's take AG1. And then we click here on Show Original. And then you can see here SPF Pass. So the SPF record is there. DKIM Pass. So the DKIM record is there. And DMARC Pass. So the DMARC record is also there. And this is what you need to do and need to have in order to ensure that your emails will actually be delivered and are not landing in spam. Factor number 4, user engagement signals. This is where modern AI and machine learning really shine. Email providers now track behavioral patterns to determine what's spam and what's not. Here's how it works. Let's say you send an email campaign to 10,000 people and 600 of them use Gmail. Gmail watches what happens when the first 20 recipients get the email. Are they opening it? Do they click the links inside of the email? Are they deleting the email immediately? Do they mark it as spam? And do they reply to the email? And if those first recipients engage positively, so they open the email, click it, maybe even reply, then Gmail learns that people want this email and your campaign continues to be delivered to inboxes. But if those first recipients ignore it, delete it, or mark it as spam, Gmail says, okay, people don't want this and starts filtering the rest to spam folders. Machine learning models like Gmail have massively improved in the last few years, and they're able to detect 98.65% of actual spam messages. And this is why sending to engaged subscribers is critical. If you keep emailing people who never open your emails, your engagement rates tank and providers start treating all your emails as unwanted. So very, very important that you create engaged segments in Klaviyo to ensure that you get a 35-40% open rate, that here and there you ask your email list to reply to your emails, that you make sure that these emails are educational, useful, and that people are actually opening them because you have a great subject line and the content is good or interesting for them to click a link in the email. So your email deliverability will get improved and you'll be delivered better to inbox providers, especially for Gmail. Now let's tie all of this together. I've created this complete spam proof checklist. And if you follow all of these things with your brand, then you will not land in spam. So first, clean up your email content, use clear professional subject lines. So don't use 3 exclamation points back to back in your subject line. Don't use all caps text in your subject line, and keep text to image balance with 200 to 300 characters minimum. So you can have, if you're just using images in your email, you can have some text in your footer explaining who you are, what your brand is about, and always limit links and always include your physical address and unsubscribe link, because otherwise you can get flagged. The second thing is authenticate your domain, set up SPF, DKIM, and DMARC records. You can use these tools to check if you've set them up correctly, but it's really simple with email marketing platforms like Klaviyo and MailChimp right now. And you can send yourself a preview and then check it yourself if everything is fine. And then also use a branded sending domain like support@drinkag1.com instead of generic addresses. Generic address would be ag1@gmail.com. You see, the last domain, it's gmail.com and not something with ag1. Then number 3, build and maintain sender reputation. Only email people who opted in. So in Germany, you're obligated to have the double opt-in, but in US and UK, it doesn't matter. So make sure that they have purchased or that they have given you the email. Don't just buy some random lists on the internet and just send them emails. That won't really work and it will just hurt your email deliverability. And clean your list regularly and warm up new domains gradually over 2 to 4 weeks. Number 4, segment and personalize campaigns. Don't blast every email to your entire list. Use segmentation by engagement level, purchase behavior and interests, and try to aim for a 35 to 40% open rate. Number 5, manage sending frequency. Don't send more than 1 email per day to the same person, and have an option in your footer where subscribers can choose their frequency preference. So they can set up once per month, only for sales, once every 2 weeks, something like that. It's better than if they just unsubscribe and you can't contact them anymore. Number 6, test before you send. Send test emails to different providers. Use spam checker tools like Mail Tester or Email and Asset to preview issues. I'll also show you another tool which I think is really great, and the price is reasonable. And number 7, monitor and continuously improve. Track your open rates, bounce rates, spam complaints, and engagement, and use Google Postmaster Tools for Gmail specific feedback, because tools like Klaviyo won't show you that. You will only be able to see that in Google Postmaster Tools, and I will give you the link as well here in this document, so you can check it out yourself and see how well you're doing on Gmail. These are the things that you need to do, and when you do them, you'll be totally fine and your email shouldn't land in a spam folder. And the last thing that I wanted to do is to recommend you my favorite tool. It's for free. You can do, I think, 2-3 tests for free and see if you're landing in the spam folder or not, and how your emails are being delivered for different email providers. Are they landing in inbox folder, spam folder, promotional tab, wherever it might be. And you can just, if you click here on pricing, you can do 2 tests, I think, per month for free. So that should be fine in the beginning. And I would really recommend you to use that tool, because it will show you everything you need. And you don't need the paid options. But this is it. If you have any questions about email deliverability, you can leave them in the comments. Otherwise, click the first link in the description, download this entire checklist with all the links and everything else that I've also included in this video. And then you can implement it for your brand to ensure your email deliverability is on point, your emails are being delivered, and you can generate as much revenue as possible with email marketing for your own brand. This is it. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Take care.